I used to believe that missing birthdays was forgivable. Missing dinner was understandable. Missing childhood was simply the price adults paid to build a better future. Now, at 81 years old, I know there are absences that never stop echoing. They become so quiet that you mistake them for peace, until one forgotten cassette tape reminds you how loud silence has always been. If you stay with me, I'll tell you why one 5-minute recording made me question 43 years of motherhood. I balanced payroll for over 300 employees, signed contracts worth millions of dollars, and remembered every payment deadline without writing a single note. Yet I forgot the one thing my daughter needed from me. I only understood it after she was gone. People used to admire my discipline. "Margaret never slows down," they would say. "You've built such a wonderful life for your family." From the outside, they were right. We lived in a beautiful brick house with white shutters. My daughter Emily attended one of the best schools in the county. Every Christmas there were presents stacked beneath the tree. Every birthday had a cake ordered from the finest bakery. No one saw how often those cakes were cut before I came home. When Emily was 7, she stood by the front window every evening around 6. My husband told me years later that she refused to eat dinner until she heard my car. Most nights, my car didn't arrive until after 9. By then she had already fallen asleep on the sofa. I would carry her to bed, kiss her forehead, whisper that Mommy loved her, and convince myself she somehow knew. Children always know. Or so I believed. When she was 10, she performed a piano recital. I promised I would be there. At 3 in the afternoon, my office called about a client threatening to cancel a contract worth nearly $500,000. "I'll only be an hour," I told my husband. The recital started at 5. I walked into the auditorium at 6:15. The janitor was folding chairs. Emily sat alone on the stage holding her sheet music. She smiled when she saw me. "It's okay, Mom," she said. "I can play it again at home." She never complained. That made it easier for me to forgive myself. Years passed. She graduated high school. Then college. She married a kind man named Daniel. They had 2 beautiful daughters. I attended every graduation, every wedding anniversary, every holiday gathering. Finally, I thought I had caught up. Retirement gave me time. The cruel thing about time is that it rarely arrives when people still need it. Emily was 60 years old when cancer found her. The doctors called it aggressive. 8 months after her diagnosis, she was gone. At her funeral, everyone spoke about her generosity, her patience, her ability to make every person feel seen. I remember thinking how extraordinary she had become. I didn't realize where she'd learned that kindness. It wasn't from me. 3 weeks later, Daniel asked if I would help clean their attic. "There are boxes Emily never opened," he said softly. Inside one dusty cardboard box were old-school notebooks, birthday cards, faded photographs, and a small cassette recorder. The batteries had long since died. Daniel found replacements. We sat together in the kitchen. When I pressed play, I expected children's songs. Instead, I heard Emily's tiny voice. "I think I'm 8 today." She giggled. "My teacher says recording memories helps you remember happy days." There was a pause. "I hope Mommy hears this someday." My hands froze. She continued. "Mommy works very hard. I know she's making everything nice for us." Another pause. Then the sentence that has lived inside me every single day since. "I just wish she knew I don't remember the presents. I only remember waiting." The room disappeared. I could hear nothing except that little girl's breathing through an old microphone. I wait by the window every day. I practice what I'll tell her. But when she gets home she's tired. So maybe tomorrow. Click. The tape ended. No accusation. No anger. Just hope. Hope repeated tomorrow after tomorrow until childhood quietly became adulthood. I couldn't breathe. Daniel reached across the table, but neither of us spoke. Some grief arrives like thunder. This one arrived like snowfall. Silent. Cold. Impossible to stop. For weeks I wandered through my own memories. I remembered contracts, deadlines, business trips, receipts. I remembered exactly how many hours I'd worked in 1989. Yet I couldn't remember the last bedtime story I'd read to Emily. That terrified me. One afternoon my oldest granddaughter, Claire, visited. She found me holding the cassette. I've listened to it every day, I admitted. She sat beside me without speaking. Finally she asked, "Grandma, can I tell you something Mom never blamed you for?" I nodded. She understood why you worked. She just wished you had let yourself stop sometimes. Those words hurt because they were true. I had confused sacrifice with presence. I believed exhaustion proved love. I measured motherhood by what I provided instead of what I shared. The greatest misunderstanding of my life wasn't thinking money mattered. It was believing time could always be given later. Later is a dangerous word. It sounds generous. It behaves like a thief. Now, every Thursday afternoon, I volunteer at the community library. Parents often sit with laptops while their children quietly color beside them. Sometimes I gently close the book I'm shelving and kneel beside a little child. I ask about their drawing, their favorite dinosaur, their new puppy. The smile always comes quickly. Children don't ask for perfect conversations. They ask for your eyes, your attention. 5 uninterrupted minutes can become someone's favorite memory. I learned that far too late. If you're telling yourself you're too busy right now, I understand. I spent 40 years saying exactly the same thing. I thought love could be stored like money in a savings account and withdrawn after retirement. It cannot. Children spend time the way adults spend money. Every day they use a little more. One morning you wake up and discover the account is empty. Sometimes I still play Emily's cassette. Not because I enjoy the pain. Because I never want to forget what waiting sounds like. It isn't loud. It doesn't scream. It whispers. And whispers are easy to ignore until the room becomes silent forever. When I close my eyes now, I don't picture the beautiful house. I don't remember the promotions or awards. I see one little girl standing beside a living room window at 6 o'clock, watching every passing car with hope shining brighter than the evening sun. I finally arrived. She had already gone to bed. That is the memory I will carry for the rest of my life. And it is heavier than every success I ever earned.